All good points. I'm glad you brought up metrics. I'm going to give a little tease for next week's show, episode 55. I'm going to bring up something to you about bat speed that I saw in Baseball America that has to do with metrics. You might have seen it this week. I'm going to bring that up next week, though, and get your opinion on it.
Did it have to do with Stanton being number one on Yeah, it did. I saw it too. How are you, Jim?
In fact, I have it pulled up right here. Giancarlo Stanton, we're just teasing here. Giancarlo Stanton was number one. Top 25 fastest average bat speeds for major league hitters, minimum, of course, 70 plate appearances. You always have to throw that disclaimer in there, right? Giancarlo Stanton's 77.2 average bat speed, average exit velo 93.4. Do with that what you will. We'll talk about that next week because the list is pretty surprising, at least the order of it from top to bottom. There's a certain couple of guys at the bottom there, if people have not read it, that you would be very surprised are at the bottom of that bat speed list. Anyway, we'll talk about that next week because that has more to do with metrics. And next week, we'll be talking about the overall coach and athlete relationship. Anyway, long story short, though, we're talking about this week, the coach and athlete open dialogue. It's very, very important, the communication part, getting to know the athlete. But for you, how did you ever, when you journaled, right? Because you used to journal. I did not. And sometimes I regretted it. But when you used to journal, how did that help you with that open dialogue going forward with your coach?
Sure. I think sometimes there might be something you want to say, but you don't have it organized yet. And It can be intimidating talking to your coach, right? Especially if you're in a slump or especially this is the person controlling your playing time. And you want to have a honest conversations because, you know, he wants or she wants you to get better and you want to get better yourself. So what it helped me is just organize everything I had going on in my head. So it was before a game, I had certain questions I was going to try to ask myself that I wanted to answer. Before practice, I wanted to answer certain questions. And then afterwards, those were just as important. And then it's not necessarily that I took my journal to my coach. I mean, I could, but I just felt so much more prepared to have a concise conversation. If someone's like, hey, what's going on? Why do you feel like you're slumping? It's not like, and you just start even, you know, girls, I think will probably have a tendency to word vomit. Well, I have all this going on. And then, you know, I notice with the guys I coach, it's just, I don't know, like they can't, they might have some inkling, but drawing it out of them is really difficult. And they might need some of those prompts to help organize what's going on in their head.